This is a self-proclaimed TikTok psychic, and what she's about to do will change her life forever.
Where she investigates and actually seemingly convicts people by using the very reliable method of reading tarot cards.
A University of Idaho professor is suing a so-called internet sleuth for defamation after the TikTok personality posted a series of videos accusing, without any credible evidence,
"This is not a feeling, this is knowledge."
About half of all crimes in the US go unsolved, but there's someone on TikTok who says she can solve them all. She's a psychic who claims she can expose the truth by talking to ghosts and spirits. But there's a problem. A lot of people think she's absolutely insane, but others actually believe she's psychic. And when you hear about all the trouble this so-called psychic is caused for the police, victims, and everyone else, you'll understand how crazy this all is. This is the rise and fall of TikTok's fake psychic. The rise of the psycho psychic. Among the millions of TikTok channels, Ashley Gillard's content stands out, but not in a good way. Ashley rocked the internet when she announced that she could solve real-life crimes by talking to spirits and reading tarot cards. Although this sounds far-fetched, it still gave her a lot of attention. Ashley quickly gained 105,000 followers and 2.6 million likes on TikTok. It's not clear if Ashley's followers actually believed that she had powers or just wanted to see her make a fool of herself, but one thing was clear. Ashley truly believed she was psychic. She was so confident that she wrote "Ashley is God" in her TikTok bio. But talking to spirits wasn't her only superpower. Ashley told her audience that she could also read minds, predict the future, and see visions of the past.
I have a gift. I have the ability to read into minds, read into past events, and into the future.
With thousands of followers watching on TikTok, Ashley began to use her psychic powers to investigate unsolved cases. It was a part of a segment called Ashley Solves Mysteries. She picked cold cases and high-profile investigations and described in detail what happened in each crime and who did it.
I decided to pull cards on the case of Myrna Salihin. She's an Indonesian woman. She was
Remember, these were unsolved cases, meaning no one was ever found guilty. So when Ashley used her psychic abilities to investigate a case and name a culprit, she was basically accusing people of crimes that they were not guilty of. Despite making these bold claims, Ashley never provided any evidence to back up her accusations. When asked why, Ashley said it was silly to ask her for evidence because her information came from the spirits, which meant they were true.
To be asking me for evidence, that's just ludicrous to me. That's just like asking anybody else in the tip line providing the tips that they requested for evidence of their tip.
As Ashley got more popular, she began publishing books along with her social media content. She created a book series called Solving Mysterious Deaths, where she used her spiritual gifts to solve cold cases. She also released books about manifestation and spirituality. For a while, Ashley had a small community of supporters who believed her every word, but that was all about to change. In 2022, Ashley's spiritual crime solving made headlines when she started making videos about the biggest crime of the year, the University of Idaho tragedy. The crime that caused her downfall.
The worst crimes we see in town involve things like bike theft or cars getting keyed or something like that. We're a nice little artsy town that provides a great quality of life to a lot of people.
The city of Moscow, near the University of Idaho, is a pretty safe place. But on November 13th, 2022, everything changed when it turned into a major crime scene.
There are plenty of questions and very few answers after 4 students at the University of Idaho were found murdered in their off-campus house.
It was already really sad that 4 students passed away, but the case became a national tragedy when everyone found out exactly how it happened. An intruder broke into the house where the 4 students were hanging out, took their lives, and escaped. People looked to the police for answers, but they were quickly disappointed. The cops had no leads and no suspects. Soon, every major news network was covering the story, and millions of people followed the investigation closely. One of these people was Ashley, the TikTok psychic. But while everyone saw a tragedy, Ashley saw an opportunity to gain clout. The victims' families pressured the police to find whoever was responsible for this terrible crime. But it wasn't going to be easy. The cops looked through security footage, checked phone records, boards and questioned anyone who could be a suspect, but they found nothing. Their only lead was that a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra was spotted in the neighborhood when the crime happened. The police found around 22,000 vehicles that fit the description of the car and started slowly going through them for clues. But the cops weren't the only ones trying to solve this case. Ashley was too. While they were looking for physical evidence, she was conducting a spiritual investigation, talking to ghosts and spirits. And just 11 days after the crime, Ashley announced that she solved it. She knew who the culprit was, and it was the last person anyone expected. Ashley solved the crime. On November 24th, 2022, Ashley posted another video in her Ashley Solves Mysteries series. However, this was a special episode. Instead of looking into an old case, Ashley was using her psychic abilities to solve a current investigation, University of Idaho case.
This is not a feeling, this is knowledge. I did a reading.
Right from her first video, Ashley didn't hold back. She said that the person behind the demise of the 4 students was a woman named Rebecca Schofield. Rebecca was a professor at the University of Idaho, the same college the victims went to. But why would a college professor commit such a terrible crime? Ashley had an answer. Technically, it wasn't really her answer, it was from the spirits. After accusing Rebecca, Ashley went all out. She filmed video after video breaking down the case from different angles. But what Ashley said in her videos was so shocking, it stirred up a lot of controversy. Ashley claimed that the spirits told her that Professor Rebecca Schofield was behind the crime. Now she needed to explain why and how it happened. This is the story that Ashley claims the spirits told her. First up was the motive. Ashley's tarot card reading showed that Professor Rebecca and Kaylee, one of the victims, were having an affair. It all began when Kaylee went to Professor Rebecca for advice about her career, which made sense since Rebecca was a college professor. As Professor Rebecca gave Kaylee career tips, their relationship evolved from teacher and student to something more intimate.
Rebecca Schofield mentored Kaylee Gonçalves, sorry if I say her name wrong, Kaylee, about her academics and her future. During this time, Rebecca Schofield took a liking to her and insinuated about being LGBTQ.
There was just one rule. The relationship had to stay a secret. Professor Rebecca was married. Furthermore, the college wouldn't approve of a romantic relationship between a teacher and a student. But even with all the risks, the two continued to see each other. Ashley also explained how the affair helped Professor Rebecca discover her romantic identity.
And she knew she was lesbian, but she didn't have the heart to live that life out loud. She said that she was so introspective that she lost her connection to her husband and that she needed to focus on her finding her truth.
However, according to the TikTok psychic, things soon took a turn for the worse. The two began to argue frequently and the relationship became rocky. Kaylee, still a student, felt frustrated because Professor Rebecca tried to control her.
She felt that Rebecca Schofield was emotionally needy and insecure. Kaylee felt like Rebecca Schofield wanted to dominate her so that she could feel less insecure and more comfortable. So they had a power struggle.
Things got so bad between Professor Rebecca and Kaylee that they decided to take a break from their relationship. Eventually, they broke up completely, but the breakup didn't fix the problems between them, it just made things worse. Professor Rebecca loved teaching at the university and she was scared that Kaylee might tell others about the affair. If that happened, Rebecca would lose her job, her reputation, and her marriage. It would completely ruin her life. To protect everything she cared about, Rebecca made a terrible choice. According to Ashley, the professor decided to shut Kaylee up once and for all.
Rebecca feels threatened. She feels that Kaylee is going to tell on her. So she decides to concoct or come up with a plan to have Kaylee killed.
Ashley claimed Professor Rebecca had an affair with her student, Kaylee, and then decided to get rid of her after they broke up. But the key part of the story was how Rebecca actually did it. Rebecca allegedly convinced Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack, to help by offering to pay him.
At this point, she decided to keep her secret safe that Kaylee had to be dead and that Jack DeCour was going to help her do it. So she meets up with Jack DeCour in an inconspicuous place. Jack just wanted the money. So apparently there was something that happened that interfered with his goals and his dreams. He wanted to be able to pursue whatever goals and dreams he had in life, and Rebecca Schofield kind of fed into that.
Together, they hired someone to sneak into the house and target Kaylee, along with anyone she may have told about the affair. This included Kaylee's boyfriend and her housemates. Ashley was accusing a respected professor of planning an assassination, which was insane. Considering how serious her allegations were, some people demanded she provide evidence to back up her claims. But Ashley didn't have a shred of proof. All she had were her tarot card readings and psychic visions, which she presented as fact. However, Ashley insisted she had no reason to lie.
Let's just dispel the rumors. No, I do not know Rebecca Schofield. I'm not connected to her in any kind of way. I'm not emotionally tied to her or any of the victims. I'm not connected to anyone. I have no reason to lie on her.
Ashley said that the evidence against Rebecca would be found on Rebecca's phone and laptop and would support her story completely. After all, the spirits were never in the wrong.
You don't have to believe anything I say. Everything that I'm saying and most of everything that happened to the students that night and before is evidenced in the app that Rebecca Schofield used to communicate with all of her collaborators.
So with all these videos out slandering Professor Rebecca Schofield, what did she herself think about it? To put it simply, she hated it. Professor Rebecca didn't say much in public, but behind the scenes, she was preparing to respond. And Rebecca's response would be so savage, it would start a war between the two women. Professor Rebecca fights back. Professor Rebecca was shocked that a TikTok psychic she'd never heard of was accusing her of a crime she didn't commit. It was like a terrible nightmare. At first, the allegations were just irritating, but that irritation slowly turned to rage as Ashley kept posting videos. Even worse, these videos were going viral, being viewed and liked and commented millions of times. This was no longer a ridiculous conspiracy theory. Ashley's videos began to ruin Rebecca's life. Professor Rebecca was constantly insulted and bullied on social media. People flooded her email with hateful messages. Some even threatened her physically. Rebecca tried everything to stop this madness. She sent several cease and desist letters asking Ashley to take down the videos and stop making them for good. But they were all ignored. Instead of stopping, Ashley doubled down.
I could put this demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me back a tissue so I can wipe my with it.
Ashley's fans didn't just bug Rebecca. They also contacted the families of the victims, trying to convince them that Ashley had solved the case and Rebecca was guilty. Things got so out of hand that it started affecting the actual police investigation. The cops haven't found any suspects yet, but they were being bombarded with calls from Ashley's followers demanding they arrest the college professor.
For weeks, investigators have been combating a lot of misinformation on this case, but they say this claim that this professor is somehow involved in the murder is perhaps the most high profile, as it has been shared online millions of times.
In the midst of all this chaos, Ashley kept on making new videos, bragging that she was the sole reason Professor Rebecca was going to be looked at as a suspect. This left Professor Rebecca with only one option. She was going to sue the TikTok psychic. On December 21st, 2022, Rebecca Schofield sued Ashley Gillard for defamation.
A University of Idaho professor is suing a so-called internet sleuth for defamation after the TikTok personality posted a series of videos accusing, without any credible evidence, that the professor was somehow tied to the November of 4 college students.
The lawsuit explained that Professor Rebecca had no connection to the victims in any way, not even as a teacher. None of them took her classes, and she never met or spoke to them during their time at the university. Most importantly, she never had an affair with Kaylee. Furthermore, Rebecca cooperated with the police and answered all their questions. And even the police publicly stated that Rebecca was not a suspect in the case. And to top it all off, she had the perfect alibi. On the day of the crime, Professor Rebecca was nowhere near the college. She was thousands of miles away in Oregon with her husband and some friends. In her lawsuit, Rebecca demanded an amount of $75,000 to make up for the emotional stress and the damage to her reputation Ashley's videos caused. The case seemed like an easy win for Rebecca. Although the lawsuit only mentioned the first 6 videos Ashley posted, there were many more videos that could be used as evidence. In total, Ashley posted more than 100 TikTok videos accusing Rebecca of the crime. But this legal drama wasn't the only thing happening. Outside the courtroom, the hunt for the real culprit was still going on. And after weeks of searching, the cops were finally about to arrest the man behind the crime. The delusion just gets worse. On December 30th, 2022, 48 days after the horrible crime, the police finally caught a break and made an arrest.
That major break in the investigation into the murders of 4 Idaho college students. A suspect arrested thousands of miles away from the crime scene.
The suspect, 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at Washington State University, a school less than 8 miles from Idaho College. The police tracked him down after they checked the license plate of a white Hyundai Elantra seen near the neighborhood on the night of the crime. That car belonged to Brian. Once they identified Brian as a suspect, they pulled his phone records. That's when they noticed something strange. Brian turned off his phone between 2:47 a.m. and 4:48 a.m., the exact time when the crime occurred. They also analyzed DNA found at the scene, which matched someone from Brian's family. The police then went to Brian's family's home and dug through the trash, where they found items with DNA that matched the crime scene. With all this evidence, the police had enough to arrest him. At the time of his arrest, Brian was the only suspect in the case. But even with this breakthrough in the case, Ashley was still determined to paint Professor Rebecca as the villain. Even after someone was arrested for the crime and she was slapped with a lawsuit, Ashley refused to back down. In fact, she told her audience she wasn't afraid of the lawsuit. She was excited.
I haven't been served yet, but I'm actually gleaming with excitement. I am going to immediately start planning because I cannot wait to present my ideas in court regarding Rebecca Schofield and her role in the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students.
Instead of accepting that the case was closed, Ashley vowed to get Professor Rebecca locked up. As the court date drew closer, Ashley continued posting on TikTok trying to convince more people that Rebecca was guilty. In one clip, she said she knew how the lawsuit would end because she foresaw it in a tarot reading. Apparently, the spirits said Rebecca would regret this lawsuit. Ashley went on long, angry rants, even criticizing the size of Rebecca's legal team.
Also, why does she need 3 lawyers for me? 3 lawyers. Why does she need such a big defense team if she's so innocent? Why does she need all of that for me?
It seemed like Ashley wasn't a big fan of lawyers because instead of hiring lawyers to defend her in court, Ashley didn't respond to the lawsuit at all. She claimed that the lawsuit was invalid because she lived in Texas and Rebecca lived in Idaho. This, however, wasn't true. The suit was legitimate. Since Ashley didn't respond to the lawsuit, the judge was going to let the case default, meaning Professor Rebecca would automatically win. But Ashley wasn't going to let that happen, so she decided to use a different approach, go on the offense instead of defense. Ashley decided to countersue Rebecca for millions of dollars. Ashley tried to flip the narrative, claiming that she was the one being defamed by Rebecca. In a long TikTok video, Ashley explained that instead of asking to have the lawsuit thrown out, she wanted to countersue because she felt like her name was being dragged through the mud.
I was being defamed across the entire freaking United States of America and the world on the news media, and they were spreading misinformation, defamatory information about me. So I wanted to file an answer. I felt that it was an opportunity for me to present my case.
Unlike Rebecca, who only asked for $75,000, the psychic wanted much more. She was suing for millions of dollars. If that doesn't sound crazy enough, here's something else. Ashley didn't hire a lawyer to represent her in the countersuit. She decided to argue the case by herself.
She hasn't actually seemingly hired a lawyer to represent herself in court. No. Ashley is indeed representing herself in court in a multi-million-dollar defamation
In the countersuit, Ashley raised several defenses against Professor Rebecca's claims of defamation. For one, she argued that her TikTok videos weren't made to harm anyone, but to help protect society. Since Ashley truly believed Rebecca was guilty, she felt it was her duty to inform the public to help the investigation and to prevent more people from getting hurt. She also defended herself by saying the lawsuit was violating her rights as an American citizen. She claimed her videos were just her exercising her freedom of speech doing investigative journalism. When the court asked Ashley for actual proof to back up her allegations, Ashley said that her tarot cards and her psychic visions were proof enough. The court immediately rejected this, saying it wasn't real evidence. After that, Ashley tried a different approach. She said that her tarot readings were part of her spiritual beliefs and that it could be considered a form of religion. The First Amendment protects freedom of religion. Ashley argued that being sued for her tarot readings violated her First Amendment rights. But once again, this argument didn't work. York. For months, they went back and forth in court. Due to the countersuit, both women incurred thousands of dollars in extra legal fees. But Professor Rebecca had a lot of public support. Several GoFundMe campaigns were created, raising over $38,000 to help Rebecca pay for her lawyers. Finally, after a long and exhausting legal battle, the madness came to an end. On August 8th, 2023, the court completely threw out Ashley's countersuit. They called her spiritual claims baseless and outrageous.
A TikTok personality's countersuit against a University of Idaho professor will not be moving forward. Today, a federal judge dismissed the lawsuit.
As of this month, September 2024, it said that Ashley Gillard still hasn't let this go. She keeps trying to refile the case without a lawyer, but no surprise, no judge is taking her seriously. Ashley's story shows us how dangerous it can be when someone spreads lies with confidence. As crazy as Ashley's fans are, sometimes we get swept up in a narrative too. But with misinformation flooding the internet, we all need to think critically before believing or sharing, because a lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth has even started. Visual Venture. Wait, before you guys go, make sure you guys subscribe and then click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries. We hit our goal of 700,000 subscribers and now on to 1 million. Let's go. Love you guys. Peace.
I was pretending to be pregnant.
This woman has spent more money on garbage than anybody else on earth.
To scam so many people with fake pregnancies and be a scammer overall, there's something going on with her.
Even their fans are upset at what they are doing.
Today, we're ranking the internet's most hated family influencers and explaining why their audience turned on them. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos, and to do that, we gotta keep growing. So 70% of you guys aren't subscribed, which is actually less than last time. And it would mean the world to me if you did, and I promise to do my very best. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. Fathering Autism. When Asa Moss created the Fathering Autism YouTube channel, he thought people would love it. But the opposite happened. Many people hated it. It got so bad that angry viewers demanded that the channel be shut down.
Knowing that Fathering Autism is a family blog should be enough to set off alarm bells.
The problems with Fathering Autism started from day one because it wasn't like other vlogs. The videos showed Asa, his wife, and their 2 kids going about their daily lives. But unlike most family channels, this one wasn't about the whole family. Every video focused on one person, Asa's daughter, Abby, who has autism.
She is not autism. She is Abigail, enlightened. While I work to prepare her for the world, I will fight to prepare the world for her. I am an autism parent.
That's why it's called Fathering Autism. The channel gave viewers an up-close look at what it's like raising a child with autism. There were titles like Autism Nighttime Routine and How a Girl with Autism Talks.
So, nighttime routine for a 14-year-old girl with autism, nonverbal autism.
Asa and his wife claimed their goal was to spread awareness about autism and help other families raising kids with the condition. It seemed like a good cause, but a lot of viewers didn't buy it. They believed Fathering Autism wasn't about spreading awareness, it was about making money off Abby's condition.
For the past decade, they have spent their life turning their autistic daughter into content and using the platform they've grown off of exploiting their daughter to recruit people into a multi-level marketing company.
One viewer was so alarmed they posted a desperate plea online begging people to step in. The title read, "YouTuber exploiting his severely autistic daughter, please help." The post laid it all out, showing how Asa and his wife were making money. What concerns me is that a lot of his supporters are vulnerable people who send him money via Patreon and all these other platforms. A lot of autistic people have commented about how they don't like what he's doing, and he basically tells them their opinions aren't relevant despite claiming to raise autism awareness. But this is just one of the many complaints.
I do think that some of the things that they are doing likely are going to benefit their daughter, right? But in the end, we all know and we can all see through the fact that these people are just raking in bank to make big bucks, and they're using their daughter to do so.
But for many critics, the biggest problem wasn't the money, it was something worse. Viewers started to notice a disturbing pattern. It seemed Abby was being pressured to make videos.
You can tell wholeheartedly she doesn't like to be on camera. she tries to run.
In many instances, Abby's body language showed that she was uncomfortable being filmed. She tried to pull away, but her parents kept recording anyway. Because of Abby's condition, she didn't fully understand what was happening, so she couldn't agree to being filmed. But they didn't keep making videos. They made some questionable ones.
Soon, all I saw were clickbaity videos with shock value thumbnails and titles like "Autistic Girl Off Her Meds" and "Autism Pajamas and How to Stop Fecal Smearing."
And if clickbait wasn't bad enough, they sometimes shared things that should have never been made public. Like the time they filmed the video about how autism affected Abby's bathroom habits. That kind of thing should always be private, but they put it online for the world to see. Viewers were furious.
It began to feel like Asa was making a spectacle out of Abby, documenting her like an animal and putting her real life on blast for viewers to gaze upon like patrons at a zoo.
As more and more people started calling out fathering autism, the backlash became impossible to ignore. Then in 2024, something unexpected happened. The Fathering Autism channel suddenly disappeared. People speculated about what happened. Some thought YouTube finally banned them after too many complaints. Others believed the Moss family took the channel down to stop the backlash. Some even thought that they were hacked and celebrated. But the celebration didn't last long. Soon, Fathering Autism was back with an explanation.
So, we're back here. If you don't know, we got hacked. Our YouTube channel was hijacked. My Google account was hijacked.
Whatever happened behind the scenes, one thing was clear. Fathering Autism wasn't going anywhere. But they weren't the only controversial family on YouTube. You've probably heard of this next influencer, Alicia Doherty. At one time, Alicia Doherty was seen as a supermom. She filmed herself waking up at 5 a.m., making breakfast, packing lunches, and preparing dinner for her 12 children. People admired her, especially because 8 of her kids were adopted. She was even featured on TV, praised for giving these children a safe and loving home. Her channel, called The Doherty Dozen, amassed over 1.5 million subscribers. As viewers paid closer attention to her videos, their admiration for her slowly turned into anger.
Every single event that they've ever done for the last 3-4 years has been on a camera. Every single birthday, every present opened, every Christmas, every single school event, everything.
The first thing that upset viewers was how much Alicia shared about her kids, especially the private stuff. She had no problem revealing deeply personal details like their medical conditions, diagnoses, and personal struggles. This kind of oversharing left many wondering how her kids will cope later in life when their entire medical record is online for anyone to find. Viewers begged her to stop. But Alicia didn't just ignore the criticism, she made things worse. She released a video where she disclosed one of her adopted son's list of diagnoses all the way down to the traumatic homes he lived in.
You put all of those evaluations together over the past 12 years, and that's his full list of diagnoses.
Thousands of viewers complained on YouTube and Reddit. The top comments said, "What is she doing? How could any loving parent do this to their child? Is it because he's adopted? I wish TikTok would close her account. Our society is so messed up thanks to parents like her." It was clear people weren't inspired anymore. They were angry. But some thought they knew why Alicia was oversharing. She wanted to look good. They figured she was trying to paint herself as a heroic mom raising kids no one else wanted. In some videos, Alicia boasted how some of her children were deemed unadoptable. She called them trauma kids. She talked about how hard it was raising them.
The specific behaviors that we've dealt with because of this are explosive rage, such as screaming, crying, and breaking things for hours every day, lying, stealing, food hoarding, food binging.
But oversharing was just one of the things people complained about. Viewers also accused Alicia of being a shopping addict. Anyone who watches Alicia's videos knows one thing: she shops a lot.
Okay, Doherty Dozen last year spent over $950,000 that we know of on camera for a bunch of junk that she's likely just gonna throw out eventually.
She films herself buying mountains of fast food and blowing thousands of dollars filling up shopping carts at the grocery store. Alicia also insists on buying things in 12s because she has 12 kids, even if not all of the kids need that product. Viewers think that's just wasteful and she's teaching her kids that money is unlimited. Alicia even admitted that she didn't care whether the kids ate or not. She just wanted to film them making dinner just to have content to share. Despite the backlash, the Doherty Dozen is still going strong with over 6 million followers across social media platforms. And it doesn't seem like Alicia plans on changing anytime soon. This next family helped invent family vlogging, but that's exactly why so many people despise them. The Saccone Jolies. The Saccone Jolies were once called Europe's most successful family vlogging channel. They seem to have the perfect life with over 1.6 million subscribers and millions of dollars made from YouTube. But the things they did to stay on top didn't just bring them fame. They made them one of the most hated family influencers ever. Jonathan and Anna Saccone Jolie started their YouTube channel in 2009, back when family vlogging wasn't even mainstream. Over the years, they had 4 kids, and every single one of them was born into the spotlight. From the moment their children entered the world, almost everything was filmed. Their first steps, their first words, their first birthday parties, even their doctor visits were all posted for millions to see. Over 12 years, they uploaded thousands of videos, turning their everyday lives into entertainment for the internet. Millions watched, and though they enjoyed the content, they also complained. People were asking if the kids were old enough to agree to be filmed. At one point, Jonathan and Anna asked their children if they were okay with being in the videos. Their response wasn't positive.
Do you like being in the videos? You don't mind, do you?
Do you think it's okay that mommy and daddy make videos every day?
No.
Every second day?
No.
But even after hearing that, Jonathan and Anna kept putting the kids online. And then the videos got even more personal. One of their kids, Edie, seemed to want to transition from a boy to a girl. Obviously, that's a deeply personal thing, but instead of keeping it private, the Saccone Jolies announced it on YouTube. Viewers assumed that would be the end of it, but it wasn't. The Saccone Jolies turned Edie's transition into a whole series of videos.
Tell the truth now. Do you want to be a boy?
No.
How do you know?
Because it's boring stuff and most of the boys play football and stuff.
There were many saying Edie's parents were even convincing Edie that he was a girl. The backlash was massive. But over time, just as people were getting used to the transition videos, they noticed something else, something that made them angrier. The transition videos started feeling staged. Scenes seemed carefully planned, almost like they were designed to spark engagement and go viral.
The reason that this TikTok is interesting to me is because there are many other recent videos showing this child wearing jeans. So it was obviously orchestrated for the video.
People started questioning the family's true intentions. Slowly, the trust between them and their audience began to fade. But the transition videos were just one controversy on a long list. Viewers were uncomfortable with how the kids were dressed in certain videos. Others were furious that Jonathan and Anna used cold showers as punishment. Then there was the issue of fan mail. The Saccone Jolies allowed their viewers, complete strangers, to send gifts and letters to their kids. Obviously, this came with serious risks. Then in 2022, Jonathan and Anna dropped the bombshell. They announced that they were deleting every single YouTube video they ever posted. More than 10 years worth of content, thousands of videos. It was headline news. But why? Jonathan and Anna said the internet was different now, and they no longer wanted their kids' lives to be put out there for everyone to see. Jonathan's exact words were, "I love my children more than I love my YouTube videos. I just want to give them an opportunity to curate their own life story on the internet." But it wasn't just about protecting the kids. Jonathan also admitted that years of vlogging has taken a serious toll on his mental health. But despite their dramatic announcement, the Saccone Jolies YouTube channel still has videos. It's unclear whether they deleted everything or quietly re-uploaded some of their content. Whatever the case, the Saccone Jolies are still very much on the internet. These next influencers are different because viewers couldn't decide whether to feel sorry for them or call them out. Della Vlogs. When Della Vlogs first started, it was a couples vlog. Dallin and Bella filmed their life, just a fun, goofy couple making videos together. That's why the channel's called Della Vlogs, a mix of Dallin and Bella. Fans adored their picture-perfect love story. Eventually, they got married, but as their content shifted from couple vlogs to family vlogs, things started to change. That's when the problems began. After marriage, Dallin and Bella spent 5 years trying to have a baby, but it just wasn't happening. They opened up about their struggles in video after video, hoping to connect with others going through a similar situation. Eventually, they decided to adopt, but the way they went about it was very unusual.
Especially since they tried to get a baby from the internet. Mind you, they started their videos by saying, like, if you have a baby, and they went on a podcast, if you have a baby, we will adopt that baby.
Then something amazing happened. A pregnant woman who saw their vlogs reached out. She was expecting twins and offered to let Dallin and Bella adopt her babies. When they continued talking over text, the woman encouraged them to get the nursery ready with everything they would need for the arrival of the twins. It felt like a dream come true, but the story wouldn't end well. In May 2023, Dallin and Bella made a sad video. They revealed they were victims of an adoption scam. It turns out that the woman who promised them twins was never pregnant. She made up the entire story. Tearing up, Dallin and Bella explained what happened.
We started talking to this female, and the messages that she would send us and the texts that were going back and forth just seemed so perfect. We actually confirmed with other people near her, people that are close to her, people that she works with, that she is not pregnant.
And they weren't the only ones. Other families have also been tricked by the same woman. At first, people felt sorry for Dallin and Bella. Their comment section was filled with support and kind words. Their video about the scam racked up 3.7 million views. But then something shifted. Instead of moving on, Dallin and Bella kept making video after video about the scam, stretching the story into multiple videos. Each video got a ton of views. And soon people started to wonder, were they sharing their pain or dragging it out to get views and make money on YouTube?
Filmed all of this. Their videos were trending, millions of views. They got a ton of money from those videos. And in the end, they were just like, well, we just want to do this to share awareness.
Dallin and Bella made even more content about the scam.
Everybody wants to know is, are we pressing charges on our scammer? Do you want to answer it?
They even filmed a video about cleaning out the nursery they prepared for the twins. And with each new upload, the backlash grew louder.
Being super clickbaity first about adoption, which you shouldn't do, which is disgusting, by the way.
Then, just when the adoption scam drama seemed to be dying down, Dallin and Bella shocked everyone with another announcement. In July 2023, they finally adopted a baby. But with the new baby came new troubles. The adoption seemed like good news, but not everyone was convinced. Some viewers questioned how they managed to adopt so quickly.
Is because they adopted a kid way faster than anybody else could, and they were being very secretive about how they did it.
Others went even further, accusing them of treating the baby like a prop for content. Today, Dallin and Bella still have millions of subscribers. Many still adore them, but to others, they're influencers who will do whatever it takes to stay in the spotlight. This next chapter is about a family that was once legendary in the world of family vlogging, but now it's all fallen apart. The Ace family. They've been called YouTube's fakest family, and it's not hard to see why. The Ace family channel revolves around Austin McBroom, his wife Catherine, and their 3 kids, Elle, Aliyah, and Steele. They're called the Ace family because of the first letters of their names, Austin, Catherine, and Elle.
If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the family.
With over 18 million subscribers, their channel is packed with vlogs, pranks, and picture-perfect family moments. But although they are popular, the Ace family has faced a ton of backlash for the content they create. For starters, some viewers hated how much the Ace family flaunted their wealth. Almost every video felt like a commercial for how rich they were. They flaunted expensive gifts, designer clothes, and luxury vacations. And when that wasn't enough, they took out a high-interest loan to buy a $10 million mansion just to flex. It felt like they were telling their fans that happiness only comes from having a perfect materialistic life. But when people weren't calling them out for flaunting their wealth, they were accusing the Ace family of deceiving viewers. On August 16th, 2018, the Ace family uploaded a video claiming their home was robbed while they were away at Disneyland. Austin McBroom filmed the shattered windows and claimed some of his wife's designer handbags were missing. He even recorded the police arriving to inspect the scene. At first, viewers felt bad for them. Then a suspicious receipt surfaced online. It showed that the Ace family paid a group of actor cops to film a video with them.
Also, this officer, who seems more than happy to be in this vlog, looks somewhat similar to Officer Oriel, a fake policeman you can hire from Cop Shop LA.
Viewers also pointed out that many electronics and luxury goods weren't stolen, which didn't make sense. Suddenly, people started asking, was the whole robbery staged? Of course, the Ace family denied everything.
People made up a receipt that we paid actor cops.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, they literally made it up, they typed it out, made it up, and the fact that it was just typed up very professional, they thought it was real.
Eventually, the drama faded, but another problem was about to hit the Ace family. This time, it was all about money. In June 2021, Austin was accused of being a scammer. He organized a YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing event. The winner was supposed to walk away with a $1 million prize. However, after the event, many participants complained that they were never paid. A few months later, the Ace family got more bad news. In late 2021, news broke that they were being kicked out of their $10 $13 million mansion. Despite acting like they were swimming in money, they failed to pay back the loan on their mansion. Eventually, the authorities took it away. Through all the financial scandals and bad press, the Ace family still presented themselves as a tight-knit, picture-perfect family. But even that didn't last.
Austin and Catherine McBroom, the couple behind the wildly popular Ace Family YouTube channel, have broken up after nearly a decade together and 7 years of marriage.
The reason for the split wasn't clear, but Catherine explained in an Instagram post that she and Austin agreed to divorce due to irreconcilable differences. This next family has been accused of doing anything for clicks, even if it means using illness and tragedy. The LeBrant family. I know we've covered this family before, but they're definitely one of the most hated, so I gotta put it in. The LeBrant fam is very popular with nearly 13 million subscribers and over 4.6 billion views. It makes them one of the internet's most watched family influencers. To put their success into perspective, their channel reportedly makes around $5.5 million in advertising revenue every year. The family consists of Cole and Savannah LeBrant and their 5 kids. At first, they stayed away from drama, creating wholesome Christian content. But recently, the LeBrants have been caught in multiple scandals, and every single one was because of something they did. One of the biggest complaints was how much the LeBrants used inappropriate clickbait, basically tricking their audience into watching their videos. And I know as YouTubers, we want to create bright, interesting thumbnails to get a click, but they went overboard. Take 2018, for example. That year, wildfires were ripping through communities in California, forcing thousands of people to evacuate their homes. But the LeBrants saw it as content. They made a video titled, "We Left Our House Because of Fires in California," with a thumbnail that made it seem like they were in big trouble. But when viewers actually watched the video, they realized the truth. The LeBrants were in no real danger. They weren't required to evacuate, they simply chose to leave.
I'm just doing this just in case if we do have to evacuate or our home gets burned down, we have it. Our home's still here.
Meanwhile, actual families were losing everything. The LeBrants were blasted by thousands using a real tragedy to get views. But somehow in 2021, they pulled the same stunt again, this time with something even more serious. In August of that year, the LeBrants released a video titled, "She Got Diagnosed with Cancer." The thumbnail made it seem like one of their own children was unwell. Millions of fans who genuinely cared about the LeBrant family clicked to watch. But after watching for a few minutes, they realized they were fooled. The video was actually about the LeBrants visiting children with cancer. None of the LeBrant kids were actually ill. People were furious. They tweeted angry comments like, "The LeBrant family has been losing my respect for a while," but they really crossed the line with this one. How dare they use childhood cancer as clickbait and spend the first 10 minutes talking like one of their kids has cancer. This is disgusting. People even made more videos just to complain. Eventually, the LeBrants changed the thumbnail to one that didn't mislead viewers. Fans assumed the LeBrants learned their lesson, no more clickbait, just wholesome content. But the controversies never end. The LeBrants' pattern of controversial, clickbaity content continued, this time at their child's expense.
Remember when they pranked their oldest child by saying that, they basically have to get rid of her dog? Remember that cruel, quote, joke that they wanted to play on her?
The most recent controversy was when they launched a new app called Bear Fruit. It's marketed as a community platform for Christian families.
That's it. That's it too. And there's a lot down here. And we're also giving away $10,000 cash.
But just days after the launch, the LeBrants were accused of stealing the idea from another family they used to work with. These scandals have cost them. Over time, they lost goodwill and a lot of subscribers.
In the past year, the LeBrant family channel has lost hundreds of thousands of subs.
The LeBrants are still vlogging, and viewers are watching to see if they'll stay true to their family-friendly image or spark more controversy. The influencers we've covered so far are pretty controversial, but this next one is in a category of her own. Zakiya Duncan. Anyone who watched Zakiya Duncan's TikTok videos would have thought she was a loving mother. In early 2020, she posted happy videos of herself laughing and dancing with her kids. She even gave advice about the importance of family.
Family time is the best time, huh? Yes. Family time is the best time? You love your family? Love your family.
But in 2022, the world found out the truth. Zakaya wasn't a loving mom, she was a monster. Zakaya lived in Texas with her 7 kids, including 16-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. Zakaya's boyfriend, 27-year-old Jova Terrell, also lived with them. To outsiders, everything looked normal, but inside that house was a nightmare. One cold October night, the twins made a run for it.
No shoes, one not wearing a shirt. It was cold outside. They were desperate.
New surveillance video shows the twins going to a neighbor's home early yesterday morning, begging for help.
After several rejections, a neighbor finally let them inside. When the twins explained the situation, she was speechless. They claimed they were not fed properly, locked indoors, and sometimes handcuffed, just to name a few. They needed to escape. So one night, the boy hid the key to the handcuffs in his mouth. Then they waited. The moment their mother and her boyfriend fell asleep, they unlocked the cuffs and ran to the neighbors for help. After hearing this story, the neighbor called the police, but the cops got there too late.
Police soon got involved, and that's when the twins' mother and her boyfriend fled with their 5 other children, sparking that Amber Alert.
But Zakaya and her boyfriend couldn't run forever. Just a few hours later, police arrested them in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. All 7 children were placed in Child Protective Services. Zakaya Duncan tricked the internet into thinking she was a loving mother, but behind the TikToks and happy videos, she was the worst family influencer ever. My friends, it's unfortunate what's happening to some of these family influencers. These stories show us that we live in a world where people are more interested in capturing the moment than living in it. And I encourage you guys to break the cycle. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, make sure you guys click here to watch YouTube's most disturbing family channels, because it's like part 1, I guess. Love you guys. Peace.
What's poppin', guys? Back with another 3 a.m. challenge. As you guys know, my girlfriend Alexia just passed away in a tragic accident, guys.
No, I don't have anything by that name on the system.
So, in Toronto, nobody by that name specifically has suffered any form of death, right?
No.
Who finds this entertaining? Because this isn't even funny. This isn't entertaining. I'm not laughing. I'm not even smiling, bro. This isn't even funny. YouTube, you really need to look into your YouTube channels.
YouTube has all sorts of videos. And of course, with all these people on the platform, there are some who break the rules. And when that happens, they're banned. YouTube bans aren't new, and sometimes you don't even deserve it. But in these cases, we're gonna talk about the reasons are crystal clear. These channels don't deserve a platform, and we're gonna show you why. First, I wanna say thank you to you watching. Yes, you right there. So we'll start with the lighter stuff, but as we go along, we'll dive into talking about some really messed up people. So get ready for a journey down the rabbit hole of banned YouTube channels. Vorfi, the Fortnite scammer. If you spend any time on the internet, you might have heard of this little indie game called Fortnite. Just kidding. But if you haven't, let me give you a breakdown. Fortnite is a massively popular online battle royale video game. With over 230 million people playing every month, Fortnite is a huge deal to gamers. And with almost 63% of players being under 24, this game has a massive young player base. Since there are so many young players, many Fortnite YouTubers have catered their content to appeal to them. But while some try to keep things family-friendly, others find a way to use their young fans to their advantage. Meet Vorfi, a Fortnite YouTuber that has caught some serious heat for lying to his fans. He was best known for his 24/7 live stream on his channel, where he would invite viewers to join him in games and events in Fortnite. His popularity skyrocketed, and he gained tens of thousands of subscribers with these streams, easily breaking 1,000 viewers each stream. He quickly built up a loyal community of fans that would spend countless hours liking his videos, engaging in his chat, and even donating money for the chance to play Fortnite with him. While Vorfi did play the game, most of his streams had a catch. He'd ask his viewers to do more than just like or subscribe. His main demand was to use his special Fortnite creator code when making in-game purchases. For context, a Fortnite creator code is a unique discount code provided to Fortnite content creators. If the code was used to purchase something in-game, the creator is given a 5% cut on each sale. Vorfi told his viewers that doing what he asked would up their odds of getting to play a game with him or join one of his special events. One of these events was called the Fortnite Fashion Show, which became Vorfi's most popular event on his channel. Many of his viewers went to great lengths to try and secure an invite to the fashion show. Vorfi knew this and used it to his advantage. He made it clear that if they don't do what he demands, they would be kicked out of the running for a fashion show invite. With many of his fans being young kids who idolized him, they did exactly what he asked.
Vorfi, I told you I was using your code. Peach Bomber.
Morphe, right there, bro. I got you.
But despite his loyal community, Vorphy wouldn't maintain his success for long. In 2020, Fortnite rolled out an in-game event called Doomsday. To clickbait more viewers, Vorphy would say that he had insider information about the event. Thousands of new faces tuned in trying to learn more about the event, but in reality, he knew nothing at all. He was just making things up to boost his numbers. Although this skyrocketed his popularity, it was about to backfire. His own personal Doomsday was yet to come. As the actual Doomsday event got closer, Fortnite put a countdown timer in the game's main lobby screen. This timer was ticking down the days, hours, and minutes until the big event. Everyone playing Fortnite could see this timer. You'd think Vorphy, being a live streamer, would have an accurate timer that matched. Since he was supposed to be playing live, well, his timer never moved. It wasn't in sync with the real one everyone was watching. Redditors called this out immediately. They claimed that Vorphy was not actually live streaming. Instead, he seemed to be replaying the same 30-minute clip over and over. Most of his viewers were kids and they didn't seem to notice. The older members of the Fortnite community, however, were enraged at Vorphy for misusing his influence to make money off his young, unsuspecting viewers. This wasn't just a case of clickbait. This was a scam. Vorphy was promising his viewers an invite to games and events that didn't even exist. He was also giving insider leaks about new updates to the game that were all made up. His entire stream was a lie.
He has been saying Doomsday Heist has been coming out on Fortnite for 2 days, and it has 5 days until it happens. 19 hours and 15 minutes. He has been lying to us all, and you can just check right there.
His live streams weren't live at all. At this point, he had a following of 328,000 subscribers who fell victim to his deception. Not to mention, he was making a ton of money off fan donations and his Fortnite creator code, and YouTube started to take notice. Finally, on November 25th, 2020, Vorphy was banned for violating YouTube's rules against spam, deceptive practices, and misleading content. We're just getting started, so this next case gets even more shady. It's Owen, taking clickbait too far. Controversy gets people talking, and this channel knew it. The more people argue in the comments, the more buzz a video gets. That ups the engagement, and YouTube shows it to even more people. Add a juicy clickbait title, and you're looking at a viral hit. But using controversy to boost views isn't new. Loads of YouTubers do it. But what happens when you take it too far and then do it over and over again? This is exactly what It's Owen did when he used the passing of a beloved YouTuber to boost his own fame. But first, let's dig into who It's Owen really is. It's Owen, aka Owen Clough, was a YouTuber that started out doing gaming-related content. During this era of his YouTube career, It's Owen had a few questionable growth strategies, but nothing too bad. He would do stuff like regularly self-promote his channel in the comments of other videos. He also had a series on his channel called Shoutout Sundays, where he had viewers make videos shouting out his channel, and in return, they might get a shout out back from him. Many people speculated that this all was just a way to get more subscribers without actually following through, and he faced backlash for this. But that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg in It's Owen's controversies. As Owen's channel grew, it seemed like he let fame get to his head. In 2017, It's Owen was under fire for partaking in live stream giveaways with known scam channels. In these live streams, viewers were promised a chance to win a brand new iPhone 7 if they subscribed. All the channels involved, including It's Owen, gained thousands of subscribers within a matter of days, but no winners were ever announced. The streams gained so much virality that even Keemstar from the Drama Alert YouTube channel tweeted about it, exposing them as complete scams. After this incident, It's Owen doubled down even more on his unethical ways. He started posting drama baiting videos, often at the expense of others. He would post clickbait videos about popular YouTubers like Ninja and Tfue that were filled with lies to get more views. Of course, one could argue that this was the optimal strategy on YouTube these days, but where do you draw the line? Well, It's Owen was about to get a hard lesson on what happens when you step over it. On June 30th, 2022, Minecraft YouTuber Technoblade passed away after a year-long fight against cancer. A heartbreaking video called So Long Nerds was posted to his channel, which featured Technoblade's father reading a message that Technoblade left for his fans. The gaming community grieved this loss. While some showcased their support and love for the YouTuber, others were not so kind. They found ways to capitalize off of Technoblade's tragic passing, and It's Owen was at the forefront of it all. Shortly Shortly after news broke about Technoblade's passing, It's Owen posted a video on his channel called Mr. Beast Final Goodbye to Technoblade, and it went viral. In under 20 hours, the video gained over 800,000 views and even made it onto the YouTube trending page. But not all publicity is good publicity. The video just showed a clip of Mr. Beast and Technoblade playing Minecraft with a fake tweet from Mr. Beast at the end of the video.
Except the weird thing is Mr. Beast never tweeted that. Doesn't even matter, right? That's not the point. I mean, you shouldn't make it to begin with. But it's also fake. It's just fake. It's all fabricated.
People were disgusted that Owen would stoop so low to try to profit off of Technoblade's passing. Sure, It's Owen was known for pushing the boundaries of clickbait, but it went beyond that. Reddit and Twitter were blowing up with backlash against the video, and popular content creators started calling him out too.
Just awful garbage. I have more respect for stains in a gas station urinal than I do for Owen.
With all this controversy, it's not surprising that YouTube eventually caught wind of it, and they did what had to be done. His channel was promptly banned following the upload of this video. But even after losing his channel, It's Owen still didn't believe he was wrong. He even took to Twitter to ask YouTube why his channel was removed, claiming that his channel was wrongfully terminated and that he didn't violate any community guidelines. It's Owen may be gone from YouTube, but it looks like old habits die hard. He's on Instagram now, still reportedly fishing for likes and views with empty promises. But while It's Owen seems to have learned nothing, sticking to his old habits, Venus Angelic's story is different, and not in a good way. Once celebrated as the internet's favorite living doll, her life has since taken a darker path. Venus Angelic, the living doll. To reiterate, It's Owen was clearly a scammer, but he's only one out of millions of cybercriminals, and you could be their next target. Because our lives revolve around the internet, it's important to keep our files safe. We all know someone who's gotten hacked or has had their hard drives fail and lose years of valuable files. And about a year ago, I researched the best way to back up my data. All sources pointed to Backblaze. So I've already been a longtime user of Backblaze, so I'm proud to say that this video is sponsored by Backblaze. With Backblaze, you get unlimited computer backups for any files on your computer, whether you're on Mac or PC. By unlimited, I literally mean there's no storage limit at all. The reason why Backblaze is so effective is because you set it and forget it. I'm a lazy person and I don't even want to spend an hour a week backing up my stuff. But I haven't touched Backblaze in months. Why? Because every time I add a file to my computer, it backs it up automatically. And when you're ready to restore your files, you can download them right from the website or choose to have a hard drive with your data mailed to you. To try the full version of Backblaze for free for 15 days, no credit card needed, go to backblaze.com/visualventure or click my link in the description. After that, it's just $7 a month, but will save you a world of headaches. And that's invaluable. Imagine going your entire life without having any control over it. You couldn't decide what clothes to wear or how to style your hair. Someone else made those choices for you, and you had to pretend you loved it in front of thousands of people. Well, that was what every day was like for Venus Angelic, the living doll. At just 15 years old, Venus Angelic became an internet sensation. With her doll-like looks and preppy persona, she quickly became a fan favorite on YouTube for being a real-life doll. Venus had started her YouTube channel at just 12 years old with her mother, Margaret. Although the two were originally from Switzerland, they shared a love for Japanese culture. They would eat Japanese food, engage in Japanese traditions, and partake in the latest Japanese fashion and beauty trends. Venus's channel featured content reflecting this Japanese Lolita lifestyle with videos like makeup tutorials and dancing to Japanese songs. On March 2nd, 2012, Venus posted the video How to Look Like a Doll, and it went instantly viral. She shot to social media stardom just 3 years into her career. Overwhelmed by her daughter's sudden fame, Venus's mom, Margaret, pulled Venus out of public school and began homeschooling her for her safety. The two grew even closer, but for Venus, this wasn't a good thing. With Venus spending most of her time at home, she became closed off from the rest of the world. As her subscriber count kept climbing, her mother, Margaret, started becoming more involved with the channel. She not only began to respond to comments on Venus's YouTube channel, but even launched her own YouTube channel where she would upload content featuring Venus. With Margaret's ever-growing presence on Venus's channel, fans began to wonder who was actually running the show. Was it Venus, the girl we always see in front of the camera, or was it her mother, Margaret, orchestrating things from behind the scenes? Venus and her mother would go on to make several television appearances. The two did an interview at Daybreak in London on April 4th, 2012, which exposed Venus's doll-like persona to a much wider audience. In the interview, people began to notice Venus displaying some strange behavior. She kept a blank expression on her face for the majority of the interview and seemed to be replying with rehearsed answers. When Venus wasn't speaking, she sat there rigidly with no emotion on her face. Viewers began to suspect that Margaret was using Venus for views and internet fame. As the years went on, Venus maintained her doll-like childish persona. It seemed like she was aging, but not actually growing up. Fans became concerned with Venus's stunt immaturity, fearing something was going on off camera. And they were right. Venus's channel kept growing, and with a guest spot on TLC's My Strange Addiction, things seemed to be going well for her. But then, in 2014, her life took an unexpected turn. Venus fell in love. She met Manaki, who was a longtime fan of hers, and the two instantly clicked. Manaki started making regular appearances on Venus's channel and social media, and fans were supportive of their relationship. Then suddenly, all signs of Manaki disappeared from Venus's online world. Fans were puzzled, but figured they just had a messy breakup. However, the true reason for his disappearance was more complicated than anyone could have guessed. In 2016, Venus shocked the internet when a video called How I Ran Away From Home was uploaded on her channel. In this video, Venus did a tell-all about her relationship with her mom and what happened to Manaki, and the origins of the Venus Angelic channel. She revealed that she and Manaki had not broken up and that she had run away from home due to severing ties with her mother, Margaret. Venus would go on to detail how Margaret had practically full control over her accounts, and that it was her mother's idea to create a YouTube channel in the first place.
A couple of things that have bothered me since the past few years include I didn't like that my mom posted on my social media in my name things which I would never say.
Since Venus was young, Margaret would force her to act like a doll on camera to rake in views, likes, and subscribers. Venus had little to no say in what was posted. It was her mother pulling the strings behind the Venus Angelic brand. Venus also said that it was hard to say no to her mother because whenever she tried, her mother would use emotional tactics to make her comply.
I couldn't just say no because if I say no or that is a bad idea, then she will get really depressed.
Venus ended the video by assuring her viewers that she changed all her passwords, making sure her mother could no longer access her account. Now, for the first time, Venus was the true owner of her social media presence. Margaret, Venus's mother, fired back with her own video titled A Venus Angelic Marriage Story. In it, she dropped a bombshell. Venus and Manaki were actually married. The video was supposed to explain her side of things, but it quickly spiraled into something more as she explained her distaste for Manaki. The situation escalated as the video went on, leaving viewers even more conflicted.
I came home from the party. I took a picture of the two being in bed together. I took the picture to send it to her husband.
It was revealed that Margaret had sent a picture of Venus with another man to Manaki. To Venus, this was an attempt to sabotage her marriage. Margaret justified it as repercussions for Venus's so-called cheating. Real story is still unclear, but this ignited an online battle between mother and daughter, leaving the internet to pick sides in the unfolding drama. In an attempt to win against Venus, Margaret took extreme measures and copyright striked all of Venus's videos. This eventually got her account terminated and her content removed from the website. Margaret continued to use her own personal social media and YouTube channel to try and taint her daughter's reputation during the ban. But Venus's loyal fans were quick to defend her. They even started petitions to try and help Venus get her channel reinstated. Venus has since gotten her channel back and returned to YouTube, but fans were still worried. Despite cutting off her mother, it didn't seem like Venus's life gotten any better. In her videos, it was clear that she had lost a significant amount of weight and didn't look like she was sleeping much. Additionally, her new content even disturbed some of her longtime fans. The woman who once seemed eternally youthful was now producing content that was overtly provocative. Many fans couldn't help but wonder if the years of manipulation from her mother, along with the unending spotlight of the internet, had finally taken a toll on her well-being. Although Venus is finally free from her mother's grasp, her future remains unclear. It's a transition from a life with zero control to complete freedom. How does one go from having every decision made for them to having to do it all by yourself. Only time will tell. But Venus isn't the only person that's been taken advantage of for YouTube fame. As we dive into the next chapter, you'll see how far some people go to mistreat their loved ones, all for clicks and views. I'm Jay Station, the Ghost Hunter. How far are you willing to go to get what you want? Telling a white lie or two? Breaking a few morals? How about pretending your girlfriend has passed and claiming you're talking to her spirit beyond the grave? As absolutely insane as that sounds, that's exactly the stunt that YouTuber I'm Jay Station pulled. Known for his controversial supernatural videos, I'm Jay Station, aka Jason Ether, was a popular YouTuber with almost 6.3 million subscribers. At his peak, his channel was averaging over 30 million views per month. What was his secret behind his viral fame? It was his knack for creating supernatural content. One of the main reasons behind I'm Jay Station's success was a viral series on his channel called the 3 a.m. challenges. In these videos, he would use the passing of celebrities like Mac Miller and XXXTentacion for content, clickbaiting viewers into believing that he was talking to them through a Ouija board. Of course, this already raised a few red flags for many viewers. Trying to profit off someone's passing is hugely frowned upon, like you've already seen with It's Owen, but these didn't even come close to being one of his worst videos. When popular content creator Etika passed away, I'm Jay Station once again took advantage of the devastating situation to create yet another 3 a.m. challenge. Etika was adored by many in the YouTube community, making Jason's decision to monetize his passing even worse. It not only struck a nerve, but also crossed lines that many in the YouTube community found inexcusable.
Who the finds this entertaining? Please tell me. Who finds this entertaining? Because this isn't even funny. This isn't entertaining. I'm not laughing. I'm not even smiling, bruv. This isn't even funny. YouTube, you really need to look into your YouTube channel.
Once he realized how intense the backlash was, I'm Jay Station tried to make some sort of amends. He changed the title of his video to I'm sorry for what I did, RIP Etika, but the video remained up on his channel. In a move that would ultimately be the tipping point for both his personal and online life, Jason proceeded to up the ante on controversy. This time, it would be the nail in the coffin for both his channel and his relationship. In January of 2020, I'm Jay Station posted a video called My Girlfriend Alexia Died, Rest in Paradise. Fans were shocked at the news, but considering the nature of his channel, many remained skeptical about the validity of his claims. In the video, he said Alexia passed away from a tragic car accident due to a drunk driver. Despite this soul-crushing situation, Jason wasted no time in shouting out another channel of his called Dream Team. He said that it was Alexia's dream to reach 1 million subscribers on that channel, and he encouraged all the viewers to subscribe for her sake.
It was her dream to get 1 million subscribers, so out of respect for her, because I know that's what she would want, I'm gonna post those videos there.
He claimed that he and his girlfriend recorded content for that channel, and that after speaking with her parents, they all agreed that he should post the videos there.
After talking with her parents, we both agreed that I should post the remainder videos that we filmed for that channel on that channel.
And just in case people didn't believe him, Jason posted another video where he visited her memorial. This video, contrary to what he thought it would do, only made viewers more suspicious of him. You see, Jason's story wasn't adding up, and he was getting caught in his own web of lies. In his previous video, he stated that Alexia had passed away due to a drunk driver. In this one, he says that she must have crashed into a sign. And that, combined with his less than convincing acting skills, made fans almost certain that he was faking the whole story.
What's poppin', guys? Back with another 3 a.m. challenge. As you guys know, my girlfriend Alexia just passed away in a tragic accident, guys.
Nothing says grieving like a clickbait video, right? I'm Jay Station made a 3 a.m. challenge where he claimed to be talking to his so-called dead girlfriend. If his enthusiastic intro about his girlfriend wasn't enough to prove he was lying, maybe this will.
Let's smash the like button right now, guys. 1 like equals 1 prayer for Alexia, guys. Rest in peace.
With all of these videos piling up, it was getting harder to believe that there was any truth to I'm Jay Station's story. Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers looked into the situation.
No, I don't have anything by that name on the system.
So, in Toronto, nobody by that name specifically has suffered any form of death, right?
No.
Mudahar was able to confirm that there was in fact no record of this incident in Toronto with Alexia's full name. The case was closed. I'm Jay Station was a liar. Alexia is alive. When his hoax was exposed, YouTube quickly demonetized Jason's channel. But people didn't think that that was punishment enough, with content creators like Keemstar and the Nathan NS calling for his entire channel to be completely banned. Not only was his channel failing, but so was his relationship. Alexia turned to YouTube to tell her side of the story, confirming that she was alive and also exposing the truth about the relationship. Multiple DM and video leaks came to light to showcase how badly Jason treated her while they were together. JStation also confessed to his lies, trying to justify them as just part of a YouTube strategy. I thought of the idea of faking Alexia's death and then doing a thing on YouTube, thanking everyone and explaining to everyone it was just to gain attraction. As expected, after so much controversy, no one sided with him. Shortly after, in February of 2020, Jason was arrested due to allegations that happened within his relationship. The JStation channel and all the other channels were terminated a year later on March 12, 2021. While Jason may have used one person suffering for his own benefit, there are channels who have done worse. A channel that's taken advantage of not one, but 50 young people. 7 Supergirls, the reality of child stars. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if you grew up famous? A life where you're adored by millions. It's something many kids today have daydreamed about. But as we often learn, appearances can be deceiving, especially when it comes to child stars. And 7 Supergirls is a prime example of how you really never know what's happening behind the scenes. Back in 2008, there was a collaboration channel called 7 Awesome Kids that started gaining traction on YouTube. The channel featured videos made by young girls showing off their everyday routines, acting in skits, and making weekly themed videos. It was a fresh concept on YouTube at the time, and the channel quickly blew up. To capitalize off this momentum, 7 Awesome Kids began launching spin-off channels. Each new channel targeted a specific age group of viewers and had its own dedicated team of girls producing videos. The youngest content creators were just 9 years old, and as soon as they turned 18, they had to resign. 7 Awesome Kids evolved from a single YouTube channel into a full-fledged brand, with 7 different channels under its umbrella. Amassing a combined total of over 16 million subscribers, these channels were a force to be reckoned with. One of these channels was 7 Supergirls, which targeted the tweens demographic, which is from ages 8 to 12. 7 Supergirls soared in popularity by serving up content that young girls could easily relate to. The channel not only amassed over 9 million subscribers, but also became a magnet for fan admiration. Many of their young audience idolized the girls featured on the channel, making it one of the crown jewels in the 7 Awesome Kids empire. While all the youthful faces on screen led viewers to think that it was all just lighthearted fun, the reality was far different. Behind the scenes, an organized team of adults carried out a strict system to hold everything together. Emily Jade, who was a former 7 Supergirls member, gave a breakdown of the entire process. The girls would have to audition for a spot on one of the channels. If they passed, they were required to prepare 1 video per week that would be posted on their designated upload day. The parents would help the girls film the videos, which were then sent to the manager for approval before upload. The 7 channels were ranked from least popular to most popular, with 7 Supergirls being at the top. The girls had to work their way up and grow their fan bases in hopes of having a shot at being on 7 Supergirls. As the girls moved to higher ranking channels, they became subject to stricter rules. Emily had started at the bottom in 2014 on the lowest ranking channel, 7 Twinkling Tweens, which had practically 0 rules. Getting moved to another channel in the 7 Awesome Kids network felt like getting a promotion. Although you had more perks, like a bigger fan base, you also had way more responsibilities. After being bumped to 7 Cool Tweens, Emily found that she had to follow a stricter content creation process.
So I got on 7 Cool Tweens, and I think there was a few rules there. I remember you had to wear summer outfits in all of your videos, even like when it was middle of winter.
The management dictated how the girls would dress, where they would film, and how they would film. The rules were precise. Skirts had to meet a certain length requirement, some scenes required full body shots, and detailed guidelines had to be followed while filming, or there would be serious consequences.
And like if you did a shot like this, for example, in like for an outro and intro, you would literally be in so much trouble. Your video would not be sponsored, and you'd get threatened to be moved down rankings on the channel.
By the time she got to the coveted 7 Supergirls, the experience lost its excitement. The management team took their rules extremely seriously, especially with their most popular channel. Even though some of the girls were reaching their late teens, they were still told to act and appear childish. Several girls shared stories about how they weren't allowed to wear makeup, had to dress a certain way, or even act according to what they were told. On top of that, the manager even dictated the girls' friendships. Kaylin, a popular member of Super 7 Girls, revealed that the manager assigned each of the girls a best friend. These pairings were strictly enforced. The girls weren't allowed to be seen alone with any other member who wasn't their officially designated best friend.
And I am not being dramatic. He literally told us that if we were seen alone with any of the other girls on the channel, it would ruin everything and we would lose all of our opportunities.
The manager even prohibited the girls from interacting with their real-life friends for fear of viewers seeing them with anyone that wasn't their assigned best friend.
He said we could not be seen with anybody in real life because what if the viewers thought that that person was our best friend instead of the person he assigned us with?
For a group of young girls, this was an extremely harsh set of rules to have to follow, but the control didn't stop there. The manager went to great lengths to ensure that no rules were broken. In every 7 Supergirls storytime and expose, one man was always mentioned, the head of operation, Ian Rylett. According to the girls, whenever Ian was unhappy with any of the girls, he would pick up the phone and call their parents. And it wasn't just a casual conversation, it was full-blown yelling. Kaylin recounted an unsettling situation in her video where Ian, the manager, became furious over a simple act. She posted a photo of herself with her swim team friends on her personal Instagram. Ian lashed out in response, calling Kaylin's mother and yelling at her over the phone.
I remember one day I posted a photo on my Instagram of me and my friends from swim team, which is a very normal thing for a high school girl to post on her Instagram, and I got a phone call, not even an hour later, of this man screaming at my mom and I saying, "You can't post things like that because what if they think that's your best friend?"
This wasn't the only tactic Ian used to get the girls to follow him. Whenever he was upset, he would threaten the girls with punishments like removing them from sponsored opportunities or demoting them to lower ranking channels. But not only were the channels ranked, but the girls within them were ranked too.
Every week or something, they would have a list of rankings from literally every single person on every Sax channel. I mean, there's like 1 to like 100 or something. It would like rank you based on like how well your videos are doing view-wise.
To top it all off, Brianna Mott, a former member of both 7 Perfect Angels and 7 Supergirls, revealed that during a trip to Anaheim, California, the girls were given sponsored bikinis to wear. However, before they could even step out to the planned events, they were required to send approval photos of themselves in the bikinis to the management team. Getting manager approval was a standard practice in all of the 7 Awesome Kids channels, but this time, the reason behind the photos will shock you.
And I've recently found out that there actually weren't any sponsors, clothing sponsors in that matter, the entire time that I was on at least, but for the past 3 years as well. And he would have everybody hit send approval photos to him. They had to be high quality. You had to send them into him, and he said that he would send them into the sponsors. It turns out those were just for his personal gain.
Ian was not only a stern manager, he was a creep. On August 17th, 2018, in a jolting turn of events, Ian Rylett was arrested for the mistreatment of one of the girls involved in the channel. YouTube immediately demonetized all of the 7 Awesome Kids channels in response. The saga finally came to an end less than a year later on March 12, 2019, when YouTube took the drastic step of terminating all the 7 Awesome Kids channels. The arrest and shutdown of the channels marked a grim but necessary conclusion in this world of young YouTube stars. While the stories of Venus, I'm J-Station, and 7 Supergirls are cautionary tales, they're far from isolated incidents. Situations like these happen every single day. In our digital world, where every click matters, protecting ourselves and those we care about isn't optional. It's a responsibility. So stay vigilant, friends. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, click this playlist right here to watch more dark internet documentaries because the algorithm will promote my channel more if you guys watch multiple videos. Please have a fantastic, wonderful day. Peace.
The internet allows you to do whatever you want.
They are everywhere. The symbols of an electronic revolution, the .com.
Have you ever clicked on a website and instantly regret it? Well, you're not the only one. There are over 1 billion websites in the world today with about 10,000 new websites created every hour. While most of these websites have positive content, some are terrifying. We'll explore unsettling websites starting from the lighter stuff to the more disturbing sites at the end. My name is Visual Venture. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Urban Outraged. At first glance, Urban Outrage looks like an ordinary website that sells shoes, belts, and bags, but that couldn't be further from the truth. If you take a closer look, you'll notice a couple of strange things about the products on their homepage. For instance, the bags have weird red streaks that look like blood. The pants have thick stitches, and the shoes have a gooey red material. As you scroll down, you'll see weird slogans like "Humans make us who we are," and "The leather's on you, the shipping's on us." However, this disturbing website begins to make sense when you Google Google Urban Outrage. The top result reads, Urban Outraged, shop genuine leather goods for humans from humans. According to this description, Urban Outraged is a website that sells luxury products made from human skin. At least that's what they claim.
Urban Outraged, that appears to feature clothes and apparel made from human skin.
There are links to their products right below the description. However, clicking one of these products opens up a world of horror. Urban Outraged has a long list of disturbing products. It seems they named each item after the person who was used to make it. For instance, there's the Avery jacket. Avery's leather is natural and one of a kind. After all, there was only one Avery. The Avery was crafted from the most luxurious skin, making this jacket natural and unique. Then we have the Juliet skirt, which features our softest ever Juliet skin, meticulously tailored from the best of Juliet. The best portions of her hide were selected in order to ensure that the natural beauty is preserved in the product. There are also reviews from people who supposedly bought the clothing, like this one, which says totally unique boots. It's cool knowing that there are only a few pairs out there in the world because they specifically came from Meg. I'm knocking a star off because they're a little narrow, but if you have narrow feet, they'll be perfect. If the website wasn't bad enough, it gets worse when you click on the Afterlife collection page. Here, they offer to turn loved ones into handmade items. The thought of turning people into products is deeply disturbing, and this has given the site a lot of free publicity. Urban Outrage trended on Twitter and received coverage from major media outlets, including the New York Post, USA Today, as well as outlets in more than 20 countries. At one point, it sparked a huge debate about whether Urban Outraged is real or just a hoax. However, this debate is unnecessary because the truth is on the site, on a page called Our Story. Clicking that page reveals the entire website is a publicity stunt by the animal rights group PETA. The fake online store was launched in the United States to highlight society's acceptance of using any living being for fashion.
The site is part of a campaign to pressure companies such as Urban Outfitters that is, and its associated brands to stop selling items that use animal products, such as leather.
The stunt was so effective that the site attracted over 1.2 million page views from over 100 countries.
The animal rights group hopes the provocative website will draw attention to its cause. By the way, PETA can't legally use human skin to make products.
Although it's a fake store, the realistic pictures and unsettling product descriptions make Urban Outraged a very creepy website, especially for people who didn't know it was fake. The next website on our list has also been described as creepy, but this one is actually real. Instacam. Imagine a stranger breaking into your house and staring at you while you sleep at night. Thanks to a website called Instacam, this uncomfortable idea is a reality for thousands of people. Most people haven't heard of Instacam until 2016 when Shelby Ivy, a woman from Oregon, shared a disturbing post on Facebook. In the post, Shelby explained that she and her sons were looking at live satellite images of Earth to find places to go for their next vacation. While browsing, they stumbled upon a website that described itself as a live camera viewer. They decided to check it out, assuming that they'd see live videos of interesting locations around the world. However, what they saw wasn't just interesting, it was alarming. The website was live streaming footage from private security cameras inside thousands of homes. Shelby immediately reached out on Facebook to mothers groups in the area, trying to warn everyone that their security cameras were hacked and footage from their homes was being streamed online. Shelby's viral post helped millions of people discover Instacam, a website that spies on people by accessing cameras in their homes, offices, and even bedrooms.
These men at a bar, this woman at her desk, these folks at a grocery store. All of them unwitting stars of a Russian website called Instacam.
There's even a Reddit forum where people screenshot and share private pictures from Instacam live streams. One Reddit user wrote, "I found a very nice apartment in Italy," then shared the link of a woman vacuuming. He kept watching her and made comments like she's making the bed right now. Churches, restaurants, streets, bars, beaches, they're all there streaming 24 hours a day. Spying on someone in their own home is the ultimate invasion of privacy, but it gets more disturbing when you discover how many webcams are streaming on the website. Instacam claims to be the world's largest online camera directory with over 73,000 live streams available for anyone to watch. The cameras are from 256 countries and users can film filter by places, cities, and time zones. But how does Instacam get access to these private webcams? Many people install cameras in their homes and offices for security. They set up the camera, connect it to the internet, and forget about it. But there's a problem. Every new camera comes with a default password already programmed into it. This default password is the same for every camera from that manufacturer.
Because they only use default passwords, so it's easy for them to print out the booklet once and send it all in the same box.
When setting up a new camera, users are supposed to change the default password to a password they choose. Not changing the default password means that the webcam footage is available for all internet users to view.
You know the default password, they know the default password, and simply logging in like they were you.
The simple mistake allows Instacam to access cameras with default passwords and stream the footage online. Instacam's access to these webcams isn't due to a hack or malware. Many people just don't change their default settings when installing internet-connected cameras. The creator of Instacam has worked hard to stay anonymous, making it tough for authorities to catch him. However, Instacam's IP address shows the site is from Russia. As more people complained about the site, the anonymous creator of Instacam granted an interview to the Huffington Post. During the interview, he emphasized that he was proud of his site, stating, "I do not have regrets. I did a great job to show the problem of neglectful users. Without this example, users do not care about the password." He emphasized that none of the cameras had been hacked. If users change the password on their cameras, there's no easy way for someone to gain access.
These people are clearly trying to make a statement about, passwords and not using the default passwords.
However, many people doubt if Instacam's intentions are actually good. Writer Lance Ulanoff asked the question, if the site's aim was really to help, why would it list thousands of webcams instead of just a handful? When asked if Instacam's creator felt bad for anyone whose privacy was invaded, he showed no remorse and said this, "Do you think their privacy is not invaded without my site? There are tons of video records and images on anonymous image boards." After receiving a lot of complaints, Instacam changed its policies. Now, anyone who discovers their camera on Instacam can email them to get it taken off the site. However, the easiest way to get a camera off Instacam is clear.
Change the default password. Make it something that's unique to you, and then the bad guys can't get in.
Instacam changed their policies to make their site less creepy, whatever that means. Plane crash info. Plane Crash Info is a website that collects real stories of plane crashes. The site has data about hundreds of crashes, including the date, location, what caused the crash, and if there were any survivors. However, there's one part of the site that's heartbreaking. Plane Crash Info has a section dedicated to cockpit voice recordings. These are the recordings of what the pilots and crew were saying while the plane was going down. It's like listening to someone and hearing the panic in their voice as they realize their life is coming to an end. In the nav bar of the website, there's a button labeled Last Words. Clicking on it takes you to a page with cockpit voice recordings, transcripts, and air traffic control tapes. There's a warning at the top of the page, caution may be disturbing to some individuals. Discretion is advised. Clicking on any of these links allows you to hear the voice recordings or read the transcripts.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. That is up target.
As you scroll down the page, you'll also see the final words of each recording listed next to the flight name. They include statements like "Ma, I love you," "Good night, goodbye, we perish." Although this is uncomfortable to read, there's another page on the site that's just as upsetting. It's called Strange and Unusual Accidents. As the name suggests, this page lists all the planes that have crashed for bizarre reasons. The reports go as far back as 1933. There's a story of an aircraft that collided with a hot air balloon, a vulture that crashed through a pilot's window, and a passenger whose cigarette accidentally set a plane on fire. There are many other interesting pages on the website, including one that categorizes crashes by airline, another page talking about famous people in plane crashes, a page with pictures of plane wrecks, a page that uses Google Earth to show the exact spot where a plane went down, and last but not least, there's the 100 Worst page, which lists 100 of the worst crashes ever recorded. Although the site was created to educate people about aviation safety, the level of detail about the crashes and fatalities creates a deeply unsettling experience for visitors. But while everything on Plane Crash Info is factual, this next site has information that most people would find too crazy to be true. The Black Vault. The Black Vault isn't just a website, it's a treasure trove of secrets. Created in 1996, the Black Vault contains over 1.4 million pages of declassified documents about top secret government cover-ups. The site also contains in-depth essays and discussions about the most bizarre conspiracy theories in the world. This includes information about hitmen, aliens, the Illuminati, and even Bigfoot. Although the content on the Black Vault is pretty weird, it gets even crazier when you discover the site was created by a 15-year-old kid.
We're 15 years old. How did you get involved in this?
Back in 1996, while still in high school, John Greenwald Jr. became fascinated by aliens and UFOs. His interest grew when he stumbled upon a website that said it had reliable, verifiable information about an alien mothership flying over Iran. The site claimed to have gotten its information from declassified documents from the US government. John Greenwald Jr. was impressed by what he read and felt there was more secrets being hidden by secret agencies. So for the next 28 years, Greenwald devoted himself to finding and publishing reports about conspiracy theories, secret projects, and declassified documents. Greenwald's work led to the creation of theblackvault.com, where you can find information about the wildest conspiracy theories. However, the most bizarre story on the Black Vault involves secret mind control experiments that took place in the 50s. MKUltra was a top secret program involving mind control experiments conducted by the CIA between 1953 and 1973. The purpose of the program was to develop ways to control human behavior, extract information, and even implant false memories. The Black Vault has 20,000 pages of MKUltra documents diving into the darkest aspects of the program. MKUltra involved a wide range of strange experiments, including hypnosis and brainwashing. They even tried to create a truth serum that when injected would make it impossible to lie. If this isn't creepy enough, the Black Vault claims MKUltra was trying to use mind control to create hitmen who would obey any order and carry out lethal missions. It's no surprise MKUltra has been described as 100 James Bond movie ideas rolled into a pile of real-life experiments. The project is pretty bizarre. However, the Black Vault's theories about aliens are also out of this world, pun intended. People have been interested in aliens and UFOs since 1947, when a man named Kenneth Arnold claimed he'd seen 9 objects flying through the air like saucers skipping on water. Since then, more people have shared stories about alien abductions, alien encounters, and unidentified flying objects. This has fueled conspiracy theories that the government is withholding information about alien activity on Earth. The Black Vault contains approximately 2,780 pages of CIA documents about unidentified flying objects. Declassified by the CIA in the 80s, these reports contain stories that suggest aliens might be among us.
Millions of government documents regarding UFOs that have since been released through your website, Black Vault. Is there damning evidence amongst these files? I mean, what do we need to know?
The documents cover UFO sightings from various regions, including Morocco, Iran, and Ukraine. There are accounts of strange late-night explosions in a tiny Russian town, a suspicious aircraft flying over a military base, and more unexplained events.
But even after this passage of time, there's nothing to explain a UFO that was seen over Tehran. Multiple UFOs were seen coming out of it.
The files also include confidential messages from CIA UFO experts discussing the possibility of aliens living on our planet. Greenwald has been called a folk hero to the UFO community because of the information on his website. Exit Mundi. Exit Mundi is a website that lists and describes all the ways the world could end. From asteroids hitting the Earth to AI taking over, Exit Mundi talks about everything. The website's writer claims to use scientific analysis to make each end of the world theory seem more believable, as if it could really happen. Before Exit Mundi became a disturbing website, it was just a site someone made for fun. Martin Keulemans, a professional science journalist from the Netherlands, launched Exit Mundi in 2001. He started the site because he enjoyed researching and writing articles about the end of the world. As time passed, Keulemans kept on collecting more and more scenarios until the website was famous for its list of scary doomsday predictions. One of Exit Mundi's weirdest predictions is the mass insanity scenario. In the scenario, everyone in the world goes insane. The streets will be full of lunatics climbing trees, jumping off buildings, and flapping their arms like birds. Even military commanders would go crazy and launch nuclear weapons which which would destroy the world. However, Exit Mundi predicted the mass insanity scenario would occur in the year 2020, which was 4 years ago. Exit Mundi has a bunch of other odd theories of why this world could end. There's the Big Crumble, which describes a scenario where everything breaks apart and humans melt into rancid puddles of liquid. Then there's the classic earth-shattering kaboom, where a massive asteroid impact or a super volcano eruption obliterates the planet. And finally, the Robot War, a scenario in which machines revolt against humanity, which, by the way AI is evolving, might not be too far-fetched. Exit Mundi isn't the only website that talks about the end of life. This next website takes things to a new level by making it very personal. Death date.
They say to live every day like it's your last, but what if you knew when your actual last day on Earth was going to come? A new website claims it can calculate the day you are gonna...
Death Date is a mysterious site that says it can predict the exact date anyone will meet their demise. The site asks for some information and then calculates your date of death in seconds. It's a disturbing idea, and some people actually wonder if the date they're given is when their life will truly end. When you arrive on the site, you're greeted by a dark homepage with a skull in the background. There's a message at the center of the page that says, "This mysterious tool will give you the answer to the most important question of your life, when your time will come. Don't wait any longer. Go to the death date form, enter your or someone else's details, and click calculate. The site will process your data and calculate the death date. Remember, you're using this site at your own risk." The site has other features, like an entire page with a long list of celebrities predicting when each of them will pass away. A-listers like Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Britney Spears, Eminem, and even Beyonce are on the list. Like many strange websites, no one knows who made this site or why. However, the website appears to have been around for a while, with the footer showing copyright from 2006. So how exactly is the death date calculated? To figure out the date, the website requires your name, birthday, sex, height, weight, and stimulants. The message on the form says, "Please fill out this form. Don't be afraid to share your data. It's necessary only for your death date calculations. The only thing you should be concerned about is the time you have left." Once the information has been provided, the user can click calculate to see the prediction. While most people think the date is a prank, there are some that take this very seriously. A few years ago, there was a Reddit post warning people not to use death date prediction websites. In the post, a Reddit user tells the story of a friend, Zach, whose life unexpectedly ended on the exact date predicted by the website. But instead of the story scaring people away from the website, it had the opposite effect. Dozens of people from the Reddit group rushed to the site to check their dates, and minutes later returned to share which date they got. One said, "I checked the site. Apparently, I'll die at age 72. I'm fine with that. I'll have a full life and get things done that I'll want to do." Another said June 14th, 2080. Pretty long life right there. We don't know if the Reddit story is true or not, but it might convince certain people that websites like Death Date give accurate predictions.
And other people will make crazy decisions and say, well, I've only got 2 years left, so I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to, like a
Tim McGraw song,
For many people, the thought of passing away triggers fear, but this next website instills fear because it could put you in real danger. PimEyes. In October 2023, NPR published an article titled "Too Dangerous: Why Even Google Was Afraid to Release This Technology." According to the article, back in 2011, Google developed facial recognition technology that could scan and find faces online. However, after spending millions of dollars creating the software, Google realized it would be too dangerous if it fell into the wrong hands.
Google decided not to release its tool that would have let users search a photo with a face and find other images with that face online.
Years later, another team of developers invented the same technology, except this time they released it to the world. It's called PimEyes, and it's been described by multiple news outlets as the most disturbing AI website on the internet. Launched in 2017 by software engineers from Poland, PimEyes is an AI website that lets you upload a photo of a person, then it searches the internet to find other photos of that same person. It's like a search engine for faces. If the person you're searching searching for appears in any photo on publicly accessible sites like Tumblr, news outlets, and blogs, PimEyes will find it.
It scans your face and it shows every single photo of you that is on the internet.
This could be the most dangerous superpower in the world of science fiction.
Here's how the technology works. PimEyes analyzes masses of faces on the internet for individual characteristics and stores the biometric data. When a user tries to search for someone, it compares the face to those in the database and delivers matching faces as a result. The results also show the domain name where the photo was found. The creators of PimEyes say it helps people protect their privacy by finding where their photos are being used online. In 2020, PimEyes claimed their database contains 900 million faces based on photos they've analyzed on the internet. PimEyes rules state that users should only search for themselves or people who have given their consent. However, there's nothing preventing anyone from searching for others.
So what happens when a stranger on the street or online can find your identity in less than a second?
The basic version of PimEyes is free for anyone to use. However, the company also has advanced features for a monthly fee. That's where the problems begin. With a paid subscription, PimEyes allows users to upload images of different people and get alerts whenever a new photo of those people appear online. Critics say this is a stalker's dream because as long as they've got a photo on you, they can use the site to track down more. By combining information from blog posts and photos on a workplace website, a stalker might be able to find out where someone works or lives.
There are no checks on who can use their service, which allows users to stalk dozens of people each day and set face alerts for up to 500 different images.
Others are concerned that PimEyes will destroy the concept of privacy, saying, "We reject the idea that as human beings, we should be treated as a walking barcode so that others can keep tabs on us."
It used to be that you could just be a face in the crowd. We are fast approaching a world where that is not possible.
Although PimEyes executives claim social media images aren't part of their database, there have been instances where pictures uploaded to Facebook and Twitter were found. In response, Facebook banned all accounts associated with PimEyes on both Facebook and Instagram. They've also sent PimEyes a legal notification to stop accessing any data, photos, or videos from their platforms. But PimEyes' problems didn't stop there. PimEyes was hit with several lawsuits in Europe and the US. Big Brother Watch accused PimEyes of encouraging stalking and filed a complaint in November 2022. Germany's privacy watchdog also sued PimEyes in December 2022. In May 2023, 5 individuals in Illinois filed a privacy lawsuit against PimEyes. All this negativity forced PimEyes to make some changes to their website. It eventually installed age detection algorithms that block the search of images of children. At least PimEyes was probably created with good intentions, but this next website was made for people who wanted to break the law. Silk Road. In February 2011, Ross Ulbricht created Silk Road, an e-commerce website that was different from any other online marketplace in the world. What made Silk Road so different was it allowed anyone to sell anything anonymously, including products that were considered illegal. It was like the Amazon for illegal items.
Log into the site, browse or search for whatever drugs or services they want, and then anonymously pay for it through Bitcoins and have it sent to whatever location they want, be it their house or a drop location or anywhere.
Ross took extreme measures to keep the site secret because he knew he could be arrested for it. So Ross put Silk Road on the dark web so you couldn't find it through regular search engines like Google. Ross made the site only accept Bitcoin as payment, so all transactions were encrypted and hence untraceable.
It was the first of its kind, and people sought it out. They realized that this was a new way to do basically like commerce, e-commerce essentially.
Silk Road was called the most sophisticated and extensive criminal marketplace on the internet. When the website was first launched, the only product on the site was mushrooms. However, as time passed, the items sold there became much worse.
Just look at some of the 13,000 items offered through that underground site, all with fast and free shipping.
The site made it easy for anyone to get their hands on harmful substances. Vendors also offered hacking tools and services with posts like, "Hey, pay me 2 Bitcoin and I'll hack into your ex-wife or ex-husband's email account." In addition to these items, there were also fake IDs, counterfeit currency, and stolen credit card information. Worst of all, Silk Road users could hire hitmen through the site. In 2013, the creator of Silk Road was arrested by the FBI. He was sentenced to life in prison. The FBI shut down Silk Road permanently.
The FBI today shut down what it's calling the most sophisticated internet site in the business of...
If you guys want to know more about the Silk Road story, I created a full-length video of it on my channel. This next website was so bad in its own way that the man who created it was also thrown in jail. Best Gore. Created in 2008, bestgore.com shows graphic and violent content of real-life injuries. The site features tons of pictures and videos of car crashes, executions, and other gory footage. Best Gore advertised itself as a reality news website for adults only. But unlike news sites that censor graphic images, Best Gore shows everything in full detail. So who created this website and why did they think a website like this would be a good idea? Best Gore was created by Mark Marek, a Slovakian man who lives in Canada. Mark Marek said that he made the website to show the harsh realities of life, which he felt was hidden from people by the media. Best Gore exposes the truth about humans as a whole, and the truth is not always nice. Best Gore is part of a trend of shock sites on the internet, which are websites that are intended to show disturbing content to its viewers. However, some people are drawn to the gruesome content on shock sites, often out of curiosity. Marek often received positive feedback from people who said watching this type of content made them avoid dangerous risks in daily life like overspeeding. At its peak, Best Gore attracted as many as 10 million viewers. Until one day, something happened that got Mark into a lot of trouble. In May 2012, a 10-minute video was uploaded onto the site. The video depicted a person ending the life of another, and it caused public outrage. When Canadian police found out about the video, they started investigating. Eventually, the culprit was arrested and sentenced to life in prison for his crime. However, the investigation didn't stop there. The police turned their attention to Mark Marek and his website. On July 16th, 2013, Marek was arrested and charged with one count of corrupting public morals for posting a video that depicted this severe crime. In Canada, corrupting public morals is a legal term that means someone has done something that can negatively influence the values of the community. The law was created to protect those who might be easily influenced by harmful and disturbing content. The offense carries a maximum sentence of 2 years imprisonment in Canada. In January 2016, Mark agreed to a plea deal and was sentenced to 3 months of house arrest, followed by 3 months of community service. In November 2020, Mark took Best Gore off the internet. This next website posted content much worse, leading to an international scandal that shook the internet. Watch people die. Reddit is a website where people can join different communities called subreddits to talk about all kinds of topics. However, not all subreddits are positive. Watch People Die, or what we'll call WPD, was a subreddit that posted real-life video clips and GIFs of people meeting their demise. People could watch clips of accidents, crimes, and horrific scenes from different parts of the world. The content was so graphic that Reddit would warn anyone visiting the subreddit that it contained graphic and potentially offensive content. But that warning didn't stop the thousands of people who flocked to see the clips. The subreddit was so popular that at its peak it had more than 300,000 subscribers. However, the popularity came with a lot of controversy. Many people found the content deeply disturbing and called for Reddit to shut it down. In a post titled "Why You Should Stay Away from r/WPD," a Reddit user talked about how watching videos of people meeting their demise negatively affected him. After 3 months, he was desensitized to this type of content. He said that this content doesn't faze him anymore and ended his message with the words, "I'm begging you, please stay away from r/WPD." But despite the negative publicity, the site kept growing. That was until March 2019, when they posted a video that caused all hell to break loose. In March 2019, New Zealand was a scene of a tragic event that resulted in multiple fatalities. The incident was live streamed on Facebook and then shared on other platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube quickly censored the clip to prevent it from spreading. However, WPD found the footage and uploaded it to their group. For them, this was just another video of people meeting their end. Little did they know that circulating this video would make them public enemy number one. Thousands of internet users demanded that WPD take the video down. They said sharing such a graphic video showed a lack of respect for the victims and their families. WPD could take the video down with one click and all the backlash would stop. However, they refused. post. They said, the video stays up until someone censors us. The video is being scrubbed from major social media platforms, but hopefully Reddit lets you decide for yourself whether or not you want to see unfiltered reality. The refusal to remove the clip only increased the public outcry. It didn't take long for Reddit to ban WPD, stating it violated Reddit's content policy against glorifying or encouraging violence. The unsettling websites we've seen today shows us the extremes of the internet. While curiosity is natural, it should always come with caution. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, make sure you guys click subscribe here and then click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries, because our goal is 700,000 subscribers by the end of 2024, and it looks like we're gonna make it. Thank you guys. Peace.